What's up guys, Jaboosle here, back with a brand new video, and like the title says, we basically have a new Valorant mobile clone to look forward to. Now, we're going to look at this article here, and basically, as you guys can see, it says Chinese company NetEase has announced the launch of a Valorant mobile clone. Now, right off the bat, that's going to seem very, very familiar to a lot of you, because if you guys remember, NetEase has already done a Valorant mobile clone before. It was called Hyperfront, and unfortunately, it shut down last year. So as we go into the article, it says, after the closure of their previous project, a mobile clone of Valorant called Hyperfront, Chinese company NetEase announced at the launch of their new gaming project called Operation Apocalypse. Following the failure of Hyperfront in April 2023, the project was shut down as it did not meet their expectations. However, NetEase is not giving up and promises to address past mistakes in the new gaming project called Operation Apocalypse. Despite limited information about the new mobile shooter, the company promises to introduce something unique and innovative, different from the previous project, since the previous one was essentially an empty clone of Valorant, which did not provide new mechanics or gameplay. And then we can see this promo image here of, actual gameplay and stuff, one of the characters and all that. It says, one of the main lessons that NetEase likely learned from the failure of Hyperfront is the need to focus on the quality and balance of the game. Operation Apocalypse is likely to be thoroughly tested before release to avoid technical issues and unbalanced gameplay. It is worth noting that well-known insiders have repeatedly mentioned the release of Valorant Mobile in 2024. Now, that's something that I wanted to point out there. They did mention, the whole Valorant Mobile 2024 thing. Honestly, we have not heard anything about the official Valorant Mobile game from Riot Games themselves in a pretty long time. So it is a little bit ambitious to think that Valorant Mobile is still releasing in 2024, because unless they plan on doing a very quick turnaround from when they actually reveal the game to when they actually, globally test it, beta, whatever it is, and then to actually release, usually that takes more than a year, and we're already 3 months into 2024. So I don't know if they're going to necessarily be able to actually fit all of those various stages of the game's development in just the next 9 months or so. But I know, who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. But anyway, as we move on from that, we can see the tap page. Here we can actually see some gameplay of the new game. And obviously, like we mentioned, Hyperfront, that was their previous attempt at a Valorant mobile clone, so it's going to look very, very familiar if you ever played Hyperfront. A lot of the characters still look the same, they still work the same, but the gameplay does actually look a bit more refined this time. It seems like they are trying to learn from those past mistakes, like the article mentioned, and basically address things like game balance, addressing things that actually make it unique and stuff like that. And so it seems like we are going to have that to look forward to. Now here we have the actual web page for the game. Everything is in Chinese, of course. NetEase is a Chinese company, and right now I believe this game is only going to be available in China, but I do imagine that this is planned to release basically globally around the world. That's usually what NetEase does with their games, and Hyperfront was in that process of releasing globally around the world. It did soft launch in a few regions before it was unfortunately shut down, so we already know that they do want this game to be a global competitor in the FPS mobile scene. And so we actually do get a little bit more gameplay that we don't see in the trailer, but again, it basically looks like Hyperfront, just a bit more refined. It does look a bit more detailed and stuff. That was one thing that I didn't really like about Hyperfront. Despite it being soft launched in certain regions, it still kind of felt like a beta. Like, it didn't really feel like it was, actually evolving or anything like that when it came to the graphics or the gameplay, but this does actually look like they've made some changes and stuff, which is really, really exciting. Now, going back to Valorant Mobile, like we mentioned, we haven't really gotten much information about that game in quite some time. So I imagine that this game, already being teased and already being talked about, this game will probably end up releasing before Valorant Mobile, which I think is going to be crucial to this game's success. As long as they can make the gameplay fun, as long as it can run well on low-end devices, mid-range devices, and stuff like that, I can definitely see this game being a hit. And I'm really, really glad that NetEase is making a second attempt at making this work, because honestly, I miss Hyperfront. I used to play it just, from time to time and stuff, and it was pretty fun. As someone who sucks at Valorant on PC, it was a really fun game tonight to actually go ahead and play and stuff. And so I'm really, really excited for this. Make sure to let me know what you guys think about this down in the comments below. Are you guys excited for NetEase bringing back Hyperfront with this new game? Very, very interested in hearing your guys' thoughts on it. But with all of that being said, thank you guys for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.
Subscribe, motherfucker.